What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, August 29th, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is noon Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major updates with Hurricane Idalia. So, Idalia is now officially a hurricane with sustained winds of 85 miles per hour. And you can see here on this satellite loop that the storm is really strengthening, and you can see an eye starting to form, and you can see this large outflow here. It's really starting to take on the appearance of a major hurricane. Rapid strengthening is expected as this storm moves towards the Big Bend region of Florida, and the latest forecast is calling for 125 mile per hour sustained winds, with some models calling for 140 mile per hour winds, which would make this storm a strong category 4 hurricane. Okay. So this is absolutely huge and very concerning. If you're in Florida, you need to get your bug out bag ready, and you need to have an evacuation plan, especially if you're in the Big Bend region. They've upgraded the storm surge forecast to 10 to 15 feet in the Big Bend region, okay, which is this bend in the western part of Florida where the panhandle meets the western coast of Florida. All right, they're talking about a storm surge of 10 to 15 feet. But look at this hurricane, guys. This thing is really starting to look like a really organized storm. So let me just share with you some of the latest from the National Hurricane Center, and then I want to update you on Ukraine. We have some concerning information coming out of Ukraine. So here's the latest forecast cone. You can see they have a major hurricane right off the coast of the Big Bend region here. Hurricane warnings up for the whole area here. And then they have it continuing as a tropical storm into southern Georgia, southern South Carolina, and southern North Carolina. So these states are going to have some impacts as well. All right. But it looks like the landfall is going to be sometime tomorrow morning. And this storm is absolutely going to explode into a potentially a Cat 4, maybe even a Cat 5. I mean, historically, if we look at storms in the Gulf of Mexico, they always rapidly intensify. Look at Hurricane Katrina. Okay, what happened with Hurricane Katrina? And here's the latest storm surge forecast. You can see 10 to 15 feet from Yankeetown to Osceola River, 10 to 15 feet. Okay, and this could even go up from there. Okay, the Tampa Bay area, 4 to 7 feet. Just massive storm surge here, guys. This is going to be catastrophic. And, this is one of the reasons why when people say they want to move to Florida, I always tell them that, yes, Florida has some benefits, but this is one of the big negatives to moving to Florida, especially as a prepper. It's a difficult place to survive in a situation like this because the whole state is a giant peninsula, and there's only one or two major highways that go from these very populated areas north. And so these are basically going to get backed up in a major emergency, and people won't be able to get out. All right. It's a major target for hurricanes. But if you are in Florida, you should consider evacuating, especially if you're in the northern portion. The southern portion is still going to get hit with, winds and rain, and there's still going to be damage, but it will be more survivable. But the northern part of Florida is going to be devastated. This is going to be a massive situation, the likes of which we haven't seen in a very long time, especially in this northern part of Florida. Okay. Let me read to you the latest detailed information from the National Hurricane Center. Idalia is currently over a maximum of oceanic heat content associated with the loop current, and water temperatures remain 30 to 31 degrees Celsius along the forecast path up until landfall. All right, so that's like in the upper 80s in Fahrenheit. That's really, really warm water, guys. Okay, this hurricane is just going to explode. I think it may even reach Cat 5, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. Vertical shear is also expected to be low in the next 18 to 24 hours, and these conditions are expected to foster rapid intensification before Idalia reaches the coast of Florida. Uh, let's see here. They're talking about the model runs here. They're saying 4 regional hurricane models: the HAFS-A, the HAFS-B, the HWRF, and the HMON show Idalia potentially reaching an intensity of 110 to 120 knots in 24 hours. Okay, 120 knots is 140 miles per hour. And as a result, the new National Hurricane Center intensity forecast indicates a peak intensity of 110 knots just before landfall. Weakening is forecast while the center of Idalia moves over land, but the system is expected to be a tropical storm while it moves near or along the coasts of Georgia and the Carolinas through Thursday. Okay, so absolutely crazy situation here, guys. Look what they're saying here. Catastrophic impacts from storm surge inundation of 10 to 15 feet above ground level, and destructive waves are expected somewhere between Osceola River and Yankeetown, Florida. Life-threatening storm surge inundation is likely elsewhere along portions of the Florida Gulf Coast where a storm surge warning is in effect. Okay, so this is going to be a very, very serious situation. Residents in these areas should be prepared for long duration power outages. Okay, so a generator is great, but a generator is only going to last you for so long. Generators guzzle through gas. You cannot rely on a generator. You need to have other things in your preps that don't rely on electricity. Okay, where are you going to go to the bathroom? Where are you going to get water? Do you have water? Do you have food that you can readily consume without having to cook? Okay, canned foods. All right, forget preparing any MREs. Forget about freeze dried food. Forget about cooking. Canned food. Okay, this is where canned food comes into play. All right, you don't have to worry about cooking. You just open it and eat. Okay, canned foods, water. Don't rely on a generator. Okay, have your generator, but don't rely on it. Okay, think about how you're going to stay cool also, because after the hurricane passes, it's still going to be hot and humid outside. And if there's no power for weeks, you could boil in your house. Okay, so think about how you're going to stay cool. All right. This is a very serious situation, guys. This could be potentially a Hurricane Katrina type event, in my opinion. Okay. So I'm going to continue to monitor the situation and update you. Let me just share with you guys some interesting flights. We have the U.S. Air Force evacuating their P-8 Poseidons from Jacksonville, which is the home base of the P-8 Poseidons. Those are the sub-Hunter planes that the U.S. uses to detect submarines. They're deployed worldwide, mostly in the European theater lately, in the Baltic and the Black Sea. But these planes can detect submarines. They can also fire missiles down into the water to destroy the submarine. But they evacuated like 24 of them from Jacksonville this morning. Okay, so here we have 4 of them here. You can see this just straight line of P8s one after another here. Okay, earlier this morning, check that out. Here's more of them. About 24 of them I counted. All right, there's 4 more. That's 12, and then here's 2 more. That's 14. Here we have 4 more. That's 18. Here we have four more that's already 22. And then here we have four more that's 26. Okay, 26 P8 Poseidons have already been evacuated from Jacksonville, guys. Okay, so the military is taking this seriously, and so should you. Okay, this could have potential economic effects here on the homeland. All right, and here's the Hurricane Hunters aircraft that was flying between Cuba and the Yucatan earlier. So I'm going to be monitoring this storm, and I might go live tomorrow during the day to cover the storm. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I will be doing periodic updates of this storm. Okay, so if you want to have the latest information on it, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. But that's pretty much it for this update. I'll be back later with another one on Hurricane Idalia. And I will be doing also an update on Ukraine very soon. So take care, God bless, and don't forget the three P's: prepare, practice, and persevere.